close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football. This is Inside the Game. Sponsored by...
Enjoy a chorizo and potato breakfast taco at Rosa's Cafe.
Listen, you're going to see a lot of Labor Day sales, but we're the only ones with prices like these. Get this $900 designer sofa for just $499. We're just different. Texas born, family owned. Listen, you're going to see a lot of Labor Day sales, but we're the only ones with prices like these. Get this $1,000 7-piece dining set for just $599. We're just different. Texas born, family owned.
At Mitchell Buick GMC, you're our #1 priority.
Get the absolute best prices, guaranteed.
Introducing the Mitchell Tire Price Match Guarantee. Here's how it works. Provide us with a better price at the time of purchasing your new tires, and we'll match it. It's just that simple. Or find a better price within 30 days of your purchase, and we'll refund you the difference. Either way, you win.
You can depend on us for great deals and outstanding service.
Mitchell Buick GMC, your hometown dealer.
Travel to Abilene Cooper. Now we head over to San Angelo Stadium where the Lakeview Chiefs hosted the Snyder Tigers. This marked the first meeting between the two squads in 3 seasons. Snyder came in winning the last 2 versus Lakeview. Could things change tonight? We'll see. Both teams enter this game. Lakeview would receive the ball first. After Lakeview sends away their first punt of the day, the Tigers look to do the same, except a fumble in the play gives the Tigers the ball back in the red zone. But after 3 plays, the Tigers would line up for a chip shot right here, as you see, and end up missing it very short, kicking it into the back of their line. The following drive, the Chiefs, after a few first downs, go with a bomb downfield to number 2. He runs out the corner and puts the Chiefs up 7-0 to wind down the first quarter. Next drive, the Tigers with the ball, 4th down, going for it at their goal line, and Lakeview is in the backfield to end the first quarter. Final score, a thriller tonight in Lakeview, 40-34. Snyder gets the dub. We've seen a handful of renewed rivalries tonight, but how about a first-time matchup? The Brownwood Lions at the Wall Hawks. Early on in this one, a defensive slugfest. Lane Stansberry says hello to Trey Mosley in the backfield. Wall defense holding strong early. More from the Hawk defense in the first quarter. Mosley trying to do something with it, but this time Garrett got meets him in the backfield for the tackle for loss. Fast forward to the first play of the second quarter. Hawk quarterback Landon York drops back, delivers this beautiful lob in the end zone to Reed Robertson. It's tipped up in the air, and Reed comes down with it. Wall strikes first. It's 7-0. Both defenses showed up and showed out tonight, especially Brownwood, though. Wall would be held scoreless for the remainder of the game. The Lions escaping with a 17-7 win on the road. We're now going to send it to our very own Sean Torres, who is live at Hawk Stadium with some post-game analysis of tonight's game. Sean?
Good evening, everybody. We are at Clayton Waizoon Stadium out here in Wall, Texas. Today, we got to witness a pretty fun game today if you're into defense. The final score was 17-7, Brownwood Lions. And like I said, it was defense over defense over defense. The defensive coaches had the defensive players being where they needed to be, filling the right holes, making the right reads, making the tackles before it crossed the line of scrimmage. And if you're into defense, you would have had a bunch of fun today. And there wasn't much offense going today, but when there was offense, it was Trey Mosley. He did amazing. The running back for Brownwood Lions did amazing. Anytime they needed that first down, he went out there and went and got it. There was one time he was down on 2 players, fell down on top of him, whistle didn't blow, so what did he do? He got up and ran for the touchdown, 20 yards. That was amazing. And the only touchdown for Wall was the wide receiver, Reed Robertson. He caught a ball, fumbled it in the air, fell on the ground, caught it, and the final score again was 17-7, and we'll see y'all later. Thank you.
This live shot is sponsored by AFCO Steel.
Thanks, Sean. Grape Creek played its home opener tonight versus Reagan County, setting another reunion this time. This was the first meeting between the former district rivals in 9 years, since 2015 to be exact. Grape Creek welcoming the Owls to town on Friday earlier tonight. First quarter, the Owls break the ice in this one. Kason Brown gets the direct snap, takes it to the outside, and turns on the Jets. Brown finds pay dirt from 55 yards out. Reagan County up early in this one, 7-0. But it wouldn't take long for the Eagles to respond. Sarah Garcia, from a yard out, pounds his way across the goal line. 2-point conversion, no good. Reagan County still holds a 1-point advantage, 7-6. Reagan County would add to their lead at the goal line. Jarrett Brown able to somehow get this pass off, and he finds a wide open Kason Brown in the end zone. Owls now lead 14-6. Grape Creek falls to Reagan County tonight by score 34-20. Mason traveled to Brady looking for a bounce-back win after last week's blowout loss to Wall. Picking things up in the first half, Mason came into tonight's winners 3 of the last 4 meetings with Brady. The final from Brady, as we speak, it's in the fourth quarter. Mason on top, 47-19, commanding 28-point lead. Meanwhile, the TLCA San Angelo Eagles played host to the Cisco Lobos. First time these former district foes have met since back-to-back meetings in 2018 and 19. Cisco won the previous 2 in shutout fashion. Tonight, not much different. The Lobos with a 62-8 demolition of the Eagles. The Eagles have now been outscored 116-8 in their first 2 games. Safe to say, not an ideal start. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we still have plenty of highlights from an action-packed Friday night. We'll be back right after this. All right, everyone, welcome back to Inside the Game. Let's resume our coverage with 2 former district opponents going head-to-head. In a pair of 1-0 Concho Valley teams meeting tonight, this Week 2 matchup between El Dorado and Ozona. Although a low-scoring first half, there were still highlights to be seen. Check out this hurdle right here. This is a highlight reel play that can make SportsCenter top 10 if you ask me. We take you to the second quarter now. Ozona drops back and unleashes this bomb to the middle of the field to a crossing Michael Daniels for the score. Later in the quarter, Ozona with another deep shot downfield, staying aggressive on the offensive side, except this time the Eagles are going to pick the ball off with an interception. Later in the drive, Ozona is going to drive down the field, and with a 30-yard touchdown strike, El Dorado closes the game to 1 score. But Ozona ends up getting the last laugh tonight. Final score, Ozona 28, El Dorado 19. The Cristobal Cougars heading north to face the Ballinger Bearcats in a first-ever meeting. The final from tonight, 21-0 Bearcats. Head coach Casey Otho and Cristobal fall to 0-2 on the year. It'll feel like a long ride home for the Cougars. They look for a rebound performance in Week 3. Moving on, the Sonora Broncos hosting the Johnson City Eagles tonight. First time since back-to-back meetings in 2018 and 2019, when the Broncos won both meetings in district play at the time. Final score from tonight, 36-35, a nail-biter. Sonora falling by 1 point, falling to 0-2 on the season. Now on one of the most highly anticipated Concho Valley matchups, Sterling City versus Miles. These teams are no strangers to each other, meeting tonight for the 5th time in 3 seasons. Both teams entering Week 2 feeling confident with Week 1 wins. How would the 5th matchup fare? Let's start things in the first half. We take you straight into the action in a game that was mostly dominated by the Bulldogs all night. The Sterling City Eagles got their only points of the first half early off this pick 6 to go up 7-0. But the Bulldogs' dominance would start on the ensuing drive. Play action fake to a waiting screen route as the Bulldogs take this up the field for a monster gain on the play. Later in that drive, the Bulldogs quarterback Liam Yancey throws a strike to get on the board against the Eagles. And later on, the Bulldogs go into up into halftime, up 34-7, and would walk away with the win tonight, winning by 35, 55-20. The Junction Eagles, slow in Week 1, en route to a dominant 40-6 win over Goldthwaite. Now, what's it looking like in Week 2? Junction on top as we speak, 28-21 over San Saba in the fourth quarter. We're going to take another quick break, but stay put. We'll be back with more football coverage right after this. Welcome back to Inside the Game. Let's tackle some 6-man action now, starting with Erie County hosting the Rankin Red Devils. Tonight marks the first meeting between these 2 teams since 2005, nearly 20 years ago. Hornets taking the field. Pick things up in the first quarter. Hornets striking quickly as Colton Laudermilk finds the end zone, diving for the pylon, 6-0 Erie County. Next possession, Rankin driving Jackson Wyatt rushing to his left for a first down. The Devils marching in the red zone. 2 plays later, fullback Noah Trussell knifing his way into the end zone, tying the game at 6 apiece. Still in the first quarter, the Devils are not done yet, though, threatening once again in the end zone as Toby Jackson pushes it across for the score this time. All Red Devils tonight, stinging the Hornets, 60-12 on the road. Now over to Garden City, where the Bearcats hosted the Robert Lee Steers. This marks their first meeting since 2017. Garden City came into tonight having won 4 straight versus Robert Lee. And we have an update. At last check, a pretty high-scoring one to say the least tonight. Robert Lee currently trailing 68-60 in the fourth quarter. The very best Falcons hosting their second consecutive home game to start the season, looking to rebound after Week 1's loss. The Falcons entered tonight having won 2 of the previous 3 against the Santa Ana Mountaineers. Although Santa Ana leads the all-time series 8-3 now, final score from tonight, all Falcons, 78-0 very best. The Water Valley Wildcats hosting the Hermley Cardinals tonight. First meeting between these squads since 1979. Pick things up in the first, Water Valley draws first blood with a rushing touchdown, setting the tone early. Next Wildcats drive, Anthony Quintana rushing to his right, shoved out of bounds. This play here, past midfield, encroaching Hermley territory. A couple plays later, Wildcats still with possession. This quarterback key play does not fool the Cardinals defense. QB getting swarmed and helicoptered to the ground. Later on in the first, Hermley down 8-0 just before this highlight reel moment. Senior wide receiver Eli Gonzalez wide open in the end zone for the touchdown. Score was 8-6 after a mishandled snap on the ensuing point after try. Sydney taking on Eden in a first ever matchup once again on Thursday night. Sydney winning a close one on the road nearly by 1, 26-25. The Blackwell Hornets taking on the Zephyr Bulldogs on the road. First meeting in 17 years. Zephyr came into tonight leading 3-0 all-time in the series. Would that streak continue? It certainly would. It's 56-8 in favor of the Bulldogs, a cruising win tonight. And of course, Bront taking on Rule on the road. Third straight year these teams have met. Previously hadn't faced each other though since 1971. It's over 50 years. Rule leads the all-time series 3-2, but that series is now tied. The Longhorns rebound nicely after a week 1 loss to defeat Rule on the road by 10, 28-18. And lastly, the Paint Rock Indians facing the Lorraine Bulldogs on the road, hoping to avenge last season's 46-0 blowout loss in the bi-district round of the playoffs. But Lorraine proved once again they are the top dog, dominating en route to a 52-6 win at home this time. We will take one final break, but don't go anywhere. More to come after these messages. Once again, we remind you folks, our Dr. Pepper Trivia Challenge returns this week. Each week you can head to our website to answer questions about this week's games happening in and around the Concho Valley. Tonight's question, when was the last time the Wallhawks finished a season with a losing record, you may wonder? Is it A, 1999, B, 2004, C, 2008, or D, 2016? Visit our Concho Valley homepage to submit your answer. Again, our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com, to answer this week's questions for a chance at winning a $20 Walmart gift card. Now that we've covered all Friday night action across the Concho Valley, let's dive into some notable Week 2 headlines. Snyder and Lakeview turned out to be a thriller tonight over at San Angelo Stadium. Wall falls in their home opener tonight to Brownwood in a defensive slugfest. Ozona once again impressive, this time against El Dorado. Miles also showed up and showed out tonight at home against Sterling City. Lakeview and Snyder coming down to the wire. Snyder ultimately pulling out a 40-34 thriller. Lakeview falling to 0-2. Brownwood, after a fast start from Greg Slaughter's Wallhawks in his home debut, unfortunately spoiled by the Brownwood Lions. Ozona all over El Dorado again, and in an all-Concho Valley showdown. Meanwhile, Week 2 is in the books. Looking ahead to Week 3, here's some key matchups you do not want to miss. Starting with Central taking on Abilene Cooper. Mark Smith and Central on the road for the second consecutive week, looking to finally get in the win column. Next up, Lakeview hosting La Mesa. 7th consecutive year facing each other. And the Jim Ned Indians traveling to face the Wallhawks, a matchup of former district opponents meeting for the 8th straight year. And an all-Concho Valley showdown between the El Dorado Eagles and Sonora Broncos. Sonora has won 11 of the past 12 matchups. These former district rivals facing off for the first time since 2011. The Sandies have had the Bobcats' number in recent memory, having won 10 of the previous 14 matches coming into tonight. Central and head coach Mark Smith looking to rebound after a difficult Week 1 loss. The Bobcats coming off a tough Week 1 loss up in Amarillo tonight. The Bobcats come out of the gates fast in this one, though. Squeaky Christian English, that is, finds a wide-open Jimmy Edwards, his favorite target. He keeps the feet moving, and just like that, Central finds themselves in front 7-0 in this one. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The duo once again strikes for the Cats in this one. This time, Squeaky hits Jimmy in stride. He's got nothing but green grass and reservations for 6. Central out to a 14-0 lead early. But after that, it was all Sandies all night. The Bobcats fall to 0-2 with a loss and are back on the road next week when they travel to Abilene Cooper. Let's now head over to San Angelo Stadium where the Lakeview Chiefs hosted the Snyder Tigers. This marked the first meeting between the two schools in 3 seasons. Snyder came in winning the last 2 versus Lakeview. Lakeview looking to change things tonight, though. Lakeview received the ball first, and after Lakeview sends away their first punt of the day, the Tigers look to do the same, except a fumble on the play gives the Tigers the ball back in the red zone. But after 3 plays, The Tigers would line up for a chip shot and end up missing it very short, kicking it into the back of their line. The following drive, the Chiefs, after a few first downs picked up, go with the bomb downfield. As you see here, a beautiful high-arcing throw puts the Chiefs up 7-0 to wind down the first quarter. Next drive, the Tigers with the ball, fourth down, going for it at their goal line, and Lakeview is in the backfield to end the first quarter. Final score, 40-34, arguably the game of the night. That's all for Inside the Game. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. I'm Griff McClellan signing off. We'll see you back here next Friday.
Catering for Inside the Game is provided by Chick-fil-A.
Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.